It is February 1st today. February 9th is the trade deadline.
On the way.
A week from tomorrow.
Yes.
We are getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Nitty-gritty, man. We're almost there.
Woo-hoo.
Almost there.
So these two trades we're going to talk about are two of the ones that were discussed by our pal, Willie Go Gottlieb.
Shout out.
In his recent column on allchgo.com. Go give it a read.
Yes.
Where he took a bunch of different trade hypotheticals tossed around in the last week or so and lent his thoughts on them. We're going to lend ours on them now. The first one we're going to take a look at involves Coby White and the Phoenix Suns and their disgruntled hustle man, Jae Crowder.
Okay, let's see it.
So this was proposed by Matt Moore of the Action Network, who actually said it wasn't just, hey, this could work. He heard that there is some talks going on between the Bulls and Suns about this very trade or something with the parameters of this very trade. Coby White for Jae Crowder.
Okay.
Now, our guy Will the Goat made note in his column that unless the Bulls want to go into above that luxury tax line midseason, which you know they don't want to do.
They do not.
The Bulls would have to add another player to that trade for the sake of salaries and keeping themselves below that luxury tax line.
Okay.
So Will said Coby White and Andre Drummond. Maybe the Suns could find the use of a backup big in addition to getting a guy like Coby White, a solid get-hot shooter off their bench, a guy who has ties to both Cam Johnson, his former teammate, and Chris Paul. Exactly, the Wow Bro friends, and Chris Paul, his mentor.
Ooh, great point.
So there's a lot of reasons to see why the Suns might like this deal.
Yes. Yes.
I looked at this and said, and the Bulls want Crowder for a half-season rental. Why?
Exactly.
Why?
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 K.
Porque.
It doesn't make sense. You get Jae Crowder. Jae Crowder is how I talked about Alex Caruso. He is somebody you get when you're ready to win. When you've got everything lined up and you're ready to make a move. I don't care if you're talking about a deep playoff run or NBA Finals. He is the guy that you get when you're ready to do those things. He's not the guy you get when you're rebuilding, when you're just trying to figure out who the hell you are. You don't get a guy like that because he honestly will cause havoc. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not here to lose. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at him for feeling that way. You're not here to lose. So, no, there's no way I would make this trade. Like you said, you pointed out, it's great for the Suns. Awesome for the Suns. Coby White, like around the mentor, you're going to get better. Around Cam Johnson, you're going to get better. You're around people who got your back, you're going to get better. It's just a thing of life. That's how it works like that. And he's going to be with a straight-up coach like that. And my man, Monty Williams. I love me some Monty Williams, man. What I saw him do with Cameron Payne, I think he can do anything. So I know he can turn Coby into something serious. And Coby would have an opportunity to even thrive more because I don't think that relationship with Chris Paul is going to last past this season. I think that's on the decline right there. So it works for them, and that's great. It does not work for the Chicago Bulls at all. It is a moot point to me. Like, you don't go get Jae Crowder and bring him into a mess. You have no idea what you're doing.
Just to play devil's advocate, you could say, okay, this Bulls team definitely is lacking in toughness right now.
Yeah,
Jae Crowder is a tough player.
He is.
He is, when his shot's falling, a legitimate two-way player.
Yes, he is.
When he's stroking that three confidently
Without a
and
doubt.
that quality, versatile defensive player that he is.
Without a doubt.
He is a two-way player, and the Bulls don't have a lot of those.
Absolutely true.
So in that regard, it makes sense. But again, he's on an expiring deal and is about to be a unrestricted free agent in the summer of 2023. That's a half-season loan and then trying to keep him if you decide you want to keep him.
Right.
We got some people chiming in the comments saying Monster Atomic saying, boo, no, don't want him.
Okay. No, he's good, but it just wouldn't be a good move for the Bulls.
Right. Ostis Jr. saying, I don't want to sacrifice Pat's playing time for a rental Jae Crowder. King pointing out, not a great trade because the Bulls lack shooting and you're giving up basically your second best three-point shooter in Coby White, which is something that our guy Will pointed out, which for the record, the GOAT, not in favor of this trade.
Yes, he is not.
He said so in that column. And he also pointed out, and I think that this is definitely something that Bulls fans should keep in mind. Even if the Bulls get to the end of the season, having kept Coby White, hypothetically, let's say they don't trade Coby, they keep him, he finishes the season here.
Okay.
He will then hit restricted free agency
Okay.
at the end of his rookie deal, right?
Okay.
The Bulls could then decide we want to offer Coby a modest, young vet deal to stick around,
Right.
maybe a 2-year deal or something like that, or maybe a 1-and-1 or something like that. Or we could see if we can get something for him in a sign and trade as a restricted free agent, which is what they managed to do with Lauri Markkanen a year ago.
Exactamundo, man. Like, that makes more sense because even with the Lowry trade, you walked away with something. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, well, I got something out the deal. Obviously, Lowry has played above, the heads, but that wasn't – it wasn't going to happen here. He had to go home. But – again, he went to Cleveland first. You know what I mean? So, again, it was okay to do. But, no, you don't trade him for a Crowder, an older Jae Crowder, who's, again, brings your toughness. We know what he can do as far as skill. That's not the reason you don't want Jae Crowder. Of course you want him for that. But like I said, when you're ready to win, and if you're like you're going to have him a year after this, then I'm like, okay, that's when it makes sense. That's when you add these kind of pieces. Not when you're trying to figure out who you are and trying to get yourself back to 500. That will not work because Jae Crowder is not about that life. He's sitting out now on the Phoenix Suns team.
Has not played all season.
You know what I mean? And they're a good team. He's sitting out now for that. You think you're going about to come in here and play here? No, not going to happen, man. No. So, no, I wouldn't do this. Don't do it.
Johnny pointing out Crowder having not played all season. He's not going to play because he wants to start, and I don't see him starting for us. Mm-hmm. It'll just create more drama. That's not what we need. And that kind of goes along with what somebody else in the comments was saying, which is like, hey, man, if bringing in Crowder on a rental, like, try-it-out basis for half a season comes at the cost of Patrick Williams' minutes, I will be marching on the United Center with a torch and pitchforks.
I agree.
How dare you?
I want more and more.
Do not. That is one of the things that I am trying to, like, get in the right frame of mind. If the Bulls front office does decide this ain't working, to some degree, let's blow this up and sell off a couple of their veteran pieces. One of the things that I will be okay about is that meaning a larger role for Pat and seeing what he does with that in the last 30 games of a season.
Correct.
I don't want to take some kind of midseason trade and have it mean a lesser role or a shrinking role for Patrick Williams. Because if this core of DeMar, Vooch, Zach has reached the end of the line, Patrick Williams turning into a better thing than he is now, a better player than he is now, should be a crucial element to whatever the hell comes next, at least in my opinion.
Oh, it's the number one thing. If this, like you said, if this is the end of the big three and we're finished with that, then it starts with Patrick Williams at the end of the line. That's who it starts with. And I was just having this conversation because I was watching that dunk over and over and over again today. And I said, you know what? I want him to have more. I want more touches. I want more touches for Patrick Williams. That's only going to come, if you decide to blow up this team and get him like that. But I'm comfortable with that if it means the Patrick Williams development. That's it. That's it. If it means his development, getting more opportunities, getting 20 shots a game, getting all that, let's see what he is, when he has nothing else around him. He has to do it for himself. We saw it one time, and he balled the fuck out. But I want to see if he can do it on a more consistent basis. But that's only if they decide to do that. If not, keep doing what you're doing, bringing them along, letting them learn, and doing things like that. But nothing should be a detriment to his growth. Nothing.
So I was actually DMing back and forth a little bit with our guy Espo from PHNX Suns. Shout out to him. About the rumors going around between Bulls and Suns and Jae Crowder and Coby White. And, he was asking, like, what's your take from over there? And I kind of told him how I felt about it, which is like, look, Crowder's a pouty face sitting out over there in Phoenix. Hasn't played all season. And I understand why this would be great for the Suns.
Sure.
You deal with that drama problem and say goodbye to it.
Correct.
And bring in a guy in Coby who can be a great role player for you.
He can shoot them threes.
Yeah.
Knows what he
exactly.
does. So,
something else that Espo said was, I also don't see it making a whole lot of sense from the Bulls side of things. He said something else I see as a possibility is maybe the Bulls being involved in a 3-team trade involving Phoenix and team fill in the blank. He also mentioned the Bucks specifically as maybe the Bucks and Suns being, it's crazy, as teams that faced each other in the finals just a couple years ago, maybe helping each other out to try and tweak their rosters before their respective playoff runs. Yeah. But then maybe the Bulls could be involved as a third team. If they are the third team, it doesn't probably excite Bulls fans all that much because it probably just means that they're helping to facilitate in some way.
Right.
It doesn't even get your motor going any more than just being like, no, I don't want Jae Crowder for Coby White. Like, Bulls fans are looking at this next 7 days to say, are we going to do something or are we not? And is it going to put this team in a better direction for moving forward?
Yeah, that's it.
If it means punting on the rest of this season, we can, I think, for the most part, make peace with that.
Yes, we can.
If we believe that the trades that are made set them up to be in a better position for next season and beyond.
Correct, the mundo. That is what it's about. If you're going to punt on it, that means they're going to have some picks here. That means the development of Patrick Williams and Dalen Terry. That's what that means. And we're for that. You know what I'm saying? If we're okay with that. And also it means you got a draft pick and a couple of them coming up as well to help build this team up. So, yeah, that's when you take that punt for sure.
Drew is in the comments saying, I only want Cam Johnson from the Suns.
I take him too.
Cam Johnson would be nice.
Yeah, he'd be nice. Over 40% shooter from 3. Yeah, absolutely. And people were down on him when they made that pick and everything. I remember it well.
And then that way I could keep wearing my Wow Bro shirt.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It all comes back.
Full circle.
All comes back, guys.
Full circle.
It will always come back to Peck.
Speaking of which, first members of Bulls media to talk to Coby White after he was drafted by the Bulls on draft night. These idiots right here.
Right here.
These idiots right here.
First ever interview, sir, with Coby White. It's the truth, Steven. It was true, man. It was awesome. He was just looking at us. We're looking at him. Yep. And it was cool.
And we tried making like a Shaq and Kobe joke to him because if you recall, the Bulls had Shaquille Harrison on their roster at that point.
He was not feeling it.
He didn't feel it because he probably didn't know who the hell Shaq Harrison was.
What the hell? I'm from North Carolina, brother. I just came out of here. What are you talking about?
My God.
But he did choose White Sox over Cubs. I asked him Cubs or White Sox. He chose White Sox. So that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll take that from him. So, but yeah, we did it. That's history. It happened. Ha ha.
That's the thing that happened.
Shout out Bulldog.
All right. So there that was some rumblings and rumors from Matt Moore of the Action Network. He did also make note, as a final thought, that those talks that he reported the Bulls and Suns were engaged in at some point in the very recent past have cooled somewhat and are not ramping up, but have stagnated. Maybe because the Bulls were like, no, we don't want Jae Crowder for Coby White.
All right, we good.
Sweeten that deal a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Sweeten that deal.